Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around here you think, sure, she's got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Selena. If you're new, welcome. It's so great to have you. I try to make videos once a week, every week. So before I get started in today's video, I just want to say that I have dogs and they may be underneath me panting and they may bark, so I apologize if that happens. And also today, it will be my first tutorial, so I just wanted to say that I am not a professional, I'm not a makeup artist, I'm just self-taught. I learned 3 years ago now, so everything I learned was on YouTube, so I learned everything on my own, and I may do stuff a little different than you. I think we all do. That's just a fun in makeup, and I'm not trying to tell you how to do a certain thing a certain way because we all do everything differently. So this is just how I do my makeup, and I hope that you guys like what you see. And if you do like what you see, it will mean so much to me if you can subscribe to my channel. So today I have a review on the brand new Tarte Be a Mermaid and Make Waves palette. So it comes in this box like this, and it is absolutely stunning. It's got these mermaid tail all over it, like so, all around. It's super cute. So I'm going to go ahead and do the tutorial first. That way I don't have to look like this. I just have my brows done, and I'm going to do the tutorial first, and then after the tutorial I'm going to do my face and my lips. Alright guys, so to start out this look, I'm going to go in with the Lorac Pro, and I'm just going to take this cream shade right here, and I'm going to go ahead and set my primer because the new palette, the Be a Mermaid and Make Waves palette, does not come with a setting shade, so I'm going to have to go ahead and take the shade in. And I just set this all over my eyes. I don't go precisely, I just put it everywhere. And I know I'm supposed to take like a skin tone kind of color, but I always use just I use this cream shade. So I think it blends into my skin tone perfectly. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and go into the palette. I'm not sure what kind of look I'm going to go for, but I'm just going to wing it. So, this is the palette. These are the shades in here. They're absolutely stunning. Okay, let's see. So I'm taking my, it's LAB2, it's called Just Blending In Brush. That's the name of it. And it looks like this. It's a nice blending brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shade Sandbar. It's right here. That shade right there. It's a matte color, so I'm going to use this as my transition shade. And put that all over my crease. And it just kind of blends into my skin tone. Alright, so the next shade I'm going to take is called Sure Thing, It's also a matte color. It's right here. And I'm going to go ahead and take that and put that in my crease as well. And I just use the same brush. I normally do this for like the first two transition shades that I use the same brush, and then I go back in and I blend everything together with this brush as well. Go over it one more time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take this matte shade, which is the last matte shade in this palette. So out of 14 shades, there's only 3 mattes. It's this deeper one right here. It's called Shipwreck, and I'm taking that one on my outer V. So I just like blend it like into my outer V, just to deepen it up a bit. So I'm going to actually go in with my Morphe M330 brush. And it's a bit tapered, so I'm going to go in with that same shade, Shipwreck, and go on my outer V with it. Just to deepen everything up. So I want to use some of the fun colors. I think I'm gonna use a shade right here. Let's see. I'm gonna use the shade Splash down here. And I'm going to take this and just put it on my outer V, on my outer lid. It's actually really pigmented. I'm actually really shocked right now. Normally I'd have to wet my brush to get this much pigment. It's really pretty. It looks like it has like a shift of, it's like blue-green, like a hint of gold, kind of. It's really hard to describe, but it's really pretty. I gotta get another brush, so I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I'm back. So on my outer lid, I forgot to show you the brush that I use. I use the shading brush from Real Technique. I have several of these, so I use this for my eyes all the time. It's a great brush. I'm also going to be using the same brush, a shading brush, for my inner lid as well. And I'm going to go in with Salt Water. This really pretty shimmer right here. So I'm going to put this on my inner lid. Yeah, it's really, really pretty. Just trying to even it out. Both sides. Okay, so I'm gonna take Nude Beach, this top shade up here, and I'm gonna put that on my inner corners and my brow bones to give a highlight. It's pretty gold. Normally I like a more of a silver kind of inner corner highlight, but this one is more gold, but there's really no other option besides an even golder one. But that's okay. I just want to test out as much colors as I can for you guys. I'm going to put it underneath my brow bone for my brow bone highlight. Alright, so I'm going to go in with my shading brush, and I think I'm going to use, I'm going to use Lagoon right here, this dark blue. I'm going to use that for my lower lash line to give a pop of color. There's a lot of fallout, so I definitely do recommend doing your eyeshadow first. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. I am done with the completed look. I hope that you guys enjoyed my very first tutorial. So now on to my final thoughts on the palette. So to start off, this is the palette right here. It looks like a clamshell, front and back. And it's like a pleather texture. It's the most stunning package I've ever seen. And even the container that it comes in with the mermaid scale on it, I think is super cute. And also when you open up the box, if I can open it, it's pink inside. So I thought that was a very nice touch, the box. But anyways, back to the palette. So the palette looks like this. The mirror, it has a sticker on top that says 99% Mermaid, which is super cute. So this palette, it contains a total of 14 shades. It only has 3 mattes and the rest of them are all shimmers. So I love shimmers. I'd rather have shimmers than mattes. I cannot get a whole look if I just had a matte palette. But it is very hard to come up with looks with just this palette alone. There's only 3 shimmers, which is great, but I think like for the blues down here that there needs to be some more transition shades. So like you have all these red tones, which is what I have in my crease because that's the only matte shades. So I don't think that this is a one for all palette. I think that you'd need to pull out another palette to come up with more looks. But it's not necessary. I mean, you can get some looks with just this palette alone. But I love this palette. It's got really great shimmers. One thing I've noticed is that this palette reminds me of their Make Believe in Yourself palette. So if you have this palette, I don't think that you need both. So the Make Believe in Yourself palette looks like this. It was their unicorn theme palette. It's all shimmers, only 1 matte. I love this palette. I do enjoy just digging into these all shimmer palettes and putting these shimmers on my lid. I cannot create a whole look with this palette. I do have to go in with my matte palettes to create more looks, but this palette is stunning as well. I love Tarte's formula, and I do love their scent. All their palettes have a vanilla scent to them. But if you're looking for, like, if you're new to makeup and you're looking for one palette and that's it, I wouldn't recommend this palette. But if you are a makeup lover, you love Tarte, you love to have all the new shadows, I recommend this palette. It's beautiful. It's their Amazonian clay formula that we all love. So it's a great palette, but it's not an everyday palette. It's not an all-in-one palette. And honestly, it kind of looks like everything else that's on the market. If you just cover up these 3 bottom shades, it's all neutral shades. Just these 3 gives it like a pop. So that is my thoughts on this palette. And also, this palette is extremely hard to open. If I close it right now, I have to get a pen to open it because it is extremely hard. It's not like there are other palettes that are easy to open. It is difficult to open. So yeah, that is my review on this palette. I hope that you guys like my review and that you guys like my very first tutorial. It would mean everything to me if you guys can like my video and leave me some comments. Let me know if you have any other video requests or anything that you think that I can improve on. I know right now I have terrible lighting and a setup, but once I get more followers and all, I will definitely be improving my area where I film. So yeah, I hope that you guys like this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Alright guys, here are the swatches in the sunlight. These shades are absolutely stunning. So I'm not so sure if you can see the shades on my arms in this lighting. It's kind of dark, which is why I showed you guys each shade in the direct sunlight. So I'm going to read you each shade description off of Sephora's website. It's listed differently than I have swatched, but I'm going to just go off through how I have swatched. So the first shade I have here is called Beach Please. This shade is a maroon luster. The next shade I have is called Sure Thing. It's described as sienna. And then here is Nude Beach is the third one. And that one is described as a pale gold luster. The fourth one I have is called Saltwater. And that one is described as pale taupe luster. The next shade is Fantastic. That one is described as antique bronze. The next shade is Mimosa, and that one is described as warm gold. And the next one is called Frosté, and that one is described as a rose gold luster. It's really pretty. The next shade is called Bubbles. It's that duochrome shade right here. And Bubbles is described as a lilac duochrome. The next shade that I have is called Shipwreck. And this shade right here is really hard to swatch. I swatched it like 3 times and it still doesn't look good. I don't know what's wrong with this shade. This one's described as Mahogany. It's the darkest shade in the palette, and it's a matte. The next shade, that matte color right there, is called Sandbar, and that one is described as Milk Chocolate. The next shade is called Cavern, and that one is described as Burgundy Luster. The next shade is Lagoon. It's blue shade right here. And this one is described as a teal luster. The next shade is Splash, and Splash is described as a turquoise luster. And the last shade is called Shell Yeah, and that's described as a bronze luster. So these are the swatches, and this is the palette. The palette is surprisingly really small. It's got less than a gram. It's 0.08. So it's really small. The shades are really pretty. I just think that there are too many gold shades, but it's really pretty, and I definitely do recommend this if you love Tarte and you love their formula and you're a collector. But if you're looking for an everyday palette, there are other palettes on the market that are better. But yeah, this is a great palette. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video.